Hey, my name's Rudy and welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2. This is the retrospective and reflections, with part 3 coming soon, which is the unboxing of what I got on the weekend. But first of all, what a convention. It was absolutely phenomenal. I knew it was going to be good, but it just blew any expectations I had out of the water. Every day was so different. The Friday, the Saturday, Sunday. The Friday, I'd mentioned in a previous video that I thought that would be the sneaky, secret, good one, and it was. That there's parts of that Friday which were exceptional, which I'll get onto. I'm going to try and do it in some sort of chronological order again, because it was so successful with the haul that I did, that doing it doing it chronology, that doesn't make any sense. Doing it chronological was really good for me in terms of making the video, and I think for you guys too. You can see a sequence of events, so that's what I'll do with this one. So, starting off, the Thursday is really when the convention started for me. One of my closest friends, he messaged me about 8:15 and goes, "What time are you going to the convention?" I think he might have thought it was on Saturday. And I said, "Oh, my coach is at 7 in the morning, mate. Tomorrow." And he was like, "Oh, what? Oh, like, oh, I'll pop round now." And I was like, yeah, come over, hang out. So he pops over, and he was like, "Here you go. Here's your birthday present. I've been holding on to it because it was my birthday at the end of July." And he's just like, "I wanted to give it to you now. I wanted to give it you the day before the convention." And he hands me this, which is the red and purple coloured vinyl of the movie soundtrack. And this thing is beautiful. The artwork is incredible. I can't even get it on the screen, and there's all descriptions of what was done by Vince DiCola in, like, I think in 2007 he did a big kind of like article about it, and my friend was just like, "You can totally get it signed. You know, you're going to try and meet Stan Bush, right?" He goes, "So here you go. Here's your birthday present," and I failed to mention that it's a record store day exclusive from a few years ago. So he pops around and he gives me this, and subsequently, I did get it signed by Stan Bush, which I'll come on to later on, because I didn't get it signed until Sunday. So yeah, huge thanks to my friend for giving me such a thoughtful and amazing present, and it really like kick-started the convention for me. I was on such a major hype for the convention now, because I've definitely got something there to sign. Because even though I knew I was doing like a pre-order for the Ladybird book and I was going to get Mike Collins to do that, I hadn't really got anything Stan Bush wise that I knew to get signed. It wasn't at that point. I hadn't realised they were going to do the small little ticket stubs. And I've got the DVD, but I don't watch it. I've got a digital copy now, so it's just going to sit in the cupboard. I don't have the CD anymore. I sold it years ago, but once again, I've got digital copies on iTunes, so I didn't have actually anything physical to sign. So it's just a great, thoughtful present, and yeah, so that kick-started off the convention for me. So yeah, moving on to the Friday. Got the coach 7 in the morning. It was a 5-hour journey, which I was slightly draining. It's been a while since I've done such a lengthy journey, especially lengthy journey on the coach, but literally no problems at all. I'd got music to listen to, I'd got podcasts to listen to, there was Wi-Fi on the coach. So yeah, I still got to watch a couple of other TFN videos on the way, and I got chatting to Graham the Collector 75 on Instagram, and kind of messaged and just said, it's gutting that you're not going to be at TF Nation now. This is the 1 year that I'm going. I didn't see you at AA. And I knew at that point I was going to give him my custom, which I displayed in the forge. So yeah, I literally messaged him, and I was just like, "He's gutted that you're not coming." On one of his pictures on Instagram, and he was just like, "Oh well, I'm going now. I'm literally on my way there. I'm going to be there in like an hour." So I was even more stoked. Yeah, so I get into the Birmingham, like the main town centre. Jumped on the train, get off at Birmingham Airport, and I knew that there was a Hilton free bus. I should have just walked. Totally should have just walked through the NEC and then to the Hilton. It would have been so much quicker than waiting for the bloody courtesy bus. The courtesy bus didn't come until like 10 to 1. And I was just like, oh God, I'm going to miss the first panel. Well, I guess it was the second panel because they were showing Master Force episodes with the wacky dub. But I've seen those and they're awful. I didn't really desperately need to see those, but I wanted to make sure that I got to the small YouTubers panel with Rich Sortrider and Tony, Soundwave SG1. But luckily I got there about 10 past 1, because I wasn't staying at the Hilton, so I didn't have to check in or anything, and literally raced to get my wristband and stuff, and then I was straight into the panel. And what a panel! It was so good. It was so funny. It was so well executed. And now that I know Rich and Sortrider and Tony a lot better now, I definitely know Sortrider a hell of a lot more, because this is when the bromance started between me and him. I spent all weekend literally with Sortrider, and a bromance it was, but more on that later. Back to the panel. It was so good, and it was full of just great information for a small YouTuber like myself that's just getting started. Just hearing that insight into what it takes to do it, and just hearing really honest, genuine answers from the both of them, and having watched them for a while now, you know that they've got a great rapport, and Tony's fine with taking the mickey out of this, let's put it politely. And they got a couple of tough questions. Like once the ball got rolling with questions, it started off slowly getting the questions out there, but then there were some tough ones to answer. But once again, done with integrity and honesty, and it was just a great panel, and it was a great way to start the convention. As I said, the Friday was so good. And then after that panel, we just kind of hung out in the bar for like a couple of hours. And for me, those 2 hours between 2 and 4 on that Friday, the absolute highlight of the weekend, just one of the best parts in that, literally that 2 hours, because I'd met just a ton of cool new people, and people that I subscribe to, and I met people that subscribe to me. So never before I've had someone come up to say, "Oh, I watch your videos. Oh yeah, I've seen you on YouTube," and that like happened, and I was like properly taken aback, and I went all like shy and coy, and I'm like, "Oh okay, oh thanks, you like it? You like my content?" And people are like, "Yeah, it's super cool. You just got to keep doing it. We want to see more." So it was really cool to hear that, and I got to meet. Obviously, I got to meet Sortrider, I got to meet Soundwave SG1, I got to meet the Collector 75, got to meet Thew. I gave him a picture of Skywalk Little Pony. I got to meet TFR Wilderness. He was just cold chilling at the end of the bar, just doing his own thing, taking it all in. And then he was hanging out with Hot Rodney Prime and Collector 75. This is when I started giving out my artwork as well, that first 2 hours. And I made 20 packs of a couple of my drawings, which I literally did for fun one day. I just wanted to draw that day, and I wanted to draw Transformers. I wanted to draw loads of characters that I liked, but it turned out mostly to be like Junkions. But then again, Wreck-Gar's my favourite character. Yeah, so I made packs of 20, and I put like 6 in each. And my whole plan was to give them out to anybody that wanted them, or people that I subscribed to, people that subscribed to me, people that I met along the way. And then, if you were there at the convention and you saw somebody else with these packs, it was kind of be like Panini stickers. And you would swap and change with, you know, ones that you didn't really like, or characters that you didn't have any like connection to. But everybody just wanted to keep them. And it's been the most humbling thing. So Free Art Friday became Free Art Formers. And I gave them all out. I gave, pretty much on that Friday, I gave out 19 packs. And I had one left over, and that has been posted out to Six Shot Changer and All of the Blur, because I didn't have time to give them one, and I'd taken some back to the hotel room, and I didn't have a chance to give them, so they are posted on their way to you guys. Yeah, and just people loved these bits of artwork, and literally it was for fun. One day it was for fun. I wanted to encapsulate G1. I wanted to draw like Floro Derry. He's like my favourite Transformer artist. I just wanted them to look like his artwork, and then with my kind of colourful take on them, and ways that had not been seen before. So it looked like Floro Derry, but it was done as Shattered Glass, or it was done as the episode The Killing Jar, with the Negative Zone version of Ultra Magnus and Cyclonus. So that was a huge success. I wish I could have printed out more. I could have just given them out all weekend, but they were so heavy. 20 packs wasn't enough. I didn't want to be any more weighted down with my bag, and knowing that I was going to buy toys and stuff. I wanted to keep some space for that. So yeah, literally that 2 hours in the bar on a Friday was so much fun, and it was a great way to meet new people. And any time going into the bar on the whole weekend was super chill and relaxed, apart from the Saturday night, obviously, and then later when the dance convention was on as well. I'll get onto that in a bit. Yeah, there was plenty of people that I met. I met Matthew Grant, and I met Anson, and all these people that watch my channel have commented, and I've commented on them. It was finally so great to meet these people, and to sit and chat, and to spend the whole weekend with. And then their friends of friends, and it's just good. The fan community was amazing. And as I said, I'd not been to a convention in a couple of in a few years, especially not been to a fandom that I'm deeply engrossed in. You know, it's 5 years since AA, so you know I knew it'd be a little bit different, and obviously flying solo as it is, not knowing anybody, it can be a little bit intimidating. So to have somebody like Zorrider just there to kind of help you, or to generally want to spend time with you, it was amazing. My thanks goes out to him, because it did start this incredible bromance that we just spent all our time together, and found out loads about how we collect, and we collect so differently, and it really improved the way that I think about collecting. And it's okay to have stuff that's maybe missing parts, and maybe stuff having damage. When we were in the dealer room, he was just like, "Oh, are you going to get it?" I'm like, "No, I don't. It's got, the stickers are too damaged." And then he was like, "Oh, do you think I should get it?" And I'm like, "You're asking the wrong person. You know what my answer is going to be. It's going to be a no." So yeah, that was part of the Friday afternoon. I then wanted to get, this is about 4:30ish. I wanted to get my custom down to the forge, but they were so running behind. So I kept on going backwards and forwards trying to get this thing, because I didn't want to carry it anymore. I didn't want it to get sort of damaged. I wanted it to be in the best condition it can to go in the glass cabinet. But I couldn't. So I thought, right, what panel's on now? and I just rocked into the TF UK panel with the guys that run the social networking pages, and once again that was a great panel, really insightful. I'm not the biggest user of Facebook or social networking in general. I love Instagram. I even have like 2 Instagram accounts. I've got my account, I've got my Warhammer account, but I don't generally use Facebook that much. So I have done as of late, and watching that panel has really made me reevaluate that. And it was so good to hear stories about it and what goes on with being an admin in that part. And it does a lot to protect the community, which I didn't know. It's welcoming to hear that, you know, people having a sales page, and then there's criminals out there that want to take your money and mess you around. It's good to know that they're on the ball with that. And it was then when I met Borders Dude. He was literally sitting behind me, and I just turned around and I was like, "Oh, hello. No, watch your videos too." Anyway, it was great to meet him, and then subsequently we spent a bit of time throughout the weekend as well. Yeah, that was a great panel. So that was that panel. Got to about 6ish, and I thought, I don't want to leave, because I was staying at the Genting hotel. But then I realised a few people were going off to get dinner, so I walked with those guys, and then just checked into the hotel, which is a fantastic hotel. If you cannot get into the Hilton whenever you're going to TF Nation again, or for the first time, and you don't get a room in the Hilton, I can suggest the Genting Hotel. It's a fantastic hotel, and I got it for a decent price, just a tiny bit more than what the Hilton were charging at that time. It's got a spa and a swimming pool and like a sauna and salt room and stuff. Which I made definite use of on the Saturday, because sometimes you got to take a break. It was so hectic at that convention sometimes that literally nipping off and hitting the pool and the sauna is just a welcome bit of respite, just to relax you and just re-energize you, you know. So yeah, I chilled in my room for a bit, got everything kind of laid out. It's always good for me to, when I'm in a hotel room, different surroundings, to get everything set up as I want, and then practically wanted to just race back to the Hilton, and to meet up with people again, and met up with various people on the evening. Before I did meet up with people though, I went into the main room, because I thought about doing Chris McFeely's test, the quiz, and I thought, oh no, maybe I'll have a go. And then I'm so glad I didn't, which that isn't a negative, but I would have got completely beaten. I knew I could probably answer G1 questions and maybe a bit on the Marvel UK comics. Definitely could have answered stuff about the Japanese bits and pieces. But if there was questions about Armada and Cybertron and Transformers Prime, or maybe I could have answered some of those, or stuff about the movies, I got no chance. And lo and behold, I stayed for a couple of questions just to see what it was like. I couldn't answer any of these things, so it was fun watching other people get really involved with it, and it's always a joyful experience to hear the lovely tones of Chris McFeely's voice. But I couldn't answer them. They were just too tricky. So I went back to the bar. I hung out. Met up with James Assault Rider. And we'd heard rumblings about maybe G2 Jazz. Mackie Toys Maestro was there. So we took a little walk back to the dealer room, because they were setting up, and there it was. We could see it. So yeah, that hyped us up, and really got me excited. Watch my whole video. Did you see how that turns out? That's a fun watch. yeah, so kind of just it's fun watching the dealers set up their bits, kind of like, because you get a sneak peek of what what might be on your list, or something else that's taken a fancy, or whatever, and then literally just back to the bar just to hang out and chat and get to know people and have a couple of beers and just enjoy socializing with people in the fandom. It's for me primarily, I thought it was going to be a convention about picking up toys and being surrounded by toys and bits and pieces, and then I thought there's a little bit about getting to know people, but when you are a bit shy and so it can be difficult. But no, I'm telling you, for me it was like 50-50 toys and people. I never met so many people in my life, and just meeting new people it was incredible, and just seeing what stuff that they like, and when you disagree about characters and toys, and it's the chats that were going on were incredible. That makes me think, like, I didn't get to meet Galvacron 25. If you're watching, I'm really sorry that I didn't get to meet you, because I love your videos, and for such a young lad to be making videos, it's impressive, mate. I'm 40 and I panic, mate. Like, I panicked when I started my channel. I just didn't know how it was going to be received, and as you've got to have kind of like confidence, and my hat's off to you for taking it on board and just getting your stuff out there. So next time we're at TFN together, I'll definitely come chat, because I'd love to come and chat with you. So yeah, Friday night was just pure hangouts in the bar. You could see just more and more people filtering in, and the convention getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So again, what a tip for anybody doing it next year is just, if you can get there on a Friday, even come on the Friday. The Fridays are a lot of fun. As I alluded to at the start of the video, the way I thought about the convention was, you got the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 3 different days. Like, Friday's the exciting build up, the kind of, it's a kind of a slower pace, and you just kind of get yourself ready. And then Saturday is hectic as you like, and it's all the guests, all the panels, dealer room opens, floods of people trying to get toys, just digging around for toys, digging around for accessories, and it's super hectic. And then the Sunday's just enjoying a couple of your purchases. Maybe you pick up something else. It's for me, it was a more relaxed affair. Finding secret spots, little outside bits, which basically nobody went to, apart from me, Dorian, Wopshot, and Borders Dude, just to hang out, which I'm definitely gonna go to. Again, it was just a really relaxing, lovely spot to check out your toys and have interesting chats, and just be with like-minded people. Hey, cat. There you go. Star of the show for once. Oh, he's made my train of thoughts. Oh well. Yeah, so yeah, that was the Friday. So on to Saturday. You can come join in. All good. Don't bite Megatron's fusion cannon again, though. You've put teeth marks in it. So yeah, Saturday. I get there about 9:20. I wish I'd maybe gotten a little bit earlier, but then again, the queue was ridiculously big by then. And then just the doors opened, and then it was just massive toy hard on. What can I say? It was just surrounded by toys everywhere. Dealers, stalls, people with toys in their hands, people like holding hundreds of pounds worth of toys with ridiculous smiles on their faces. Other people like me panicking because they're not going to get the toy that they want, or in jubilation because they've found that ridiculously rare Holy Grail. Me, 2 of them, 3 of them maybe. Yeah, and throughout the Saturday you wander in and out. You head back to Toy Food because sometimes they were putting more and more stuff out each time, and rarities and other bits and pieces. I didn't catch many of the panels. To be honest, on that Saturday, I caught a little bit of the Aaron Archer one, but at that point I want to be surrounded by toys. I want to be looking at toys. I want to be seeing what other people buy. And I allude more to that in my haul video more than anything. So yeah, the Saturday was super hectic, and sometimes I had to leave the dealer room because it was too much. And then just kept on going back to the bar, seeing what other people bought, getting intrigued by other bits and pieces. People that like pick up stuff that you wouldn't expect. One guy picked up some. It might have actually been on Sunday. Picks up some Diaclone, the new Diaclone range, and it is phenomenal. Just that's hit the wish list for something that's going on there. And it was big, robust. It was there's so much play value there, and he literally just got it out and was just like, check what this does, and it was really good. Yeah, so that Sunday is pretty much just toys and dealer room for me. Then went back to the hotel, hit the spa. About 5ish. I'll grab some dinner, and then was rejuvenated, ready for the Stanbush gig. Got back to the bar about 8ish. Couple of drinks, and then we thought maybe we should queue, just in case. And then when we left the bar, we didn't even get out of the bar. The queue was at the bar, so literally we were just like, well, do you want to get another drink and stay here? And then when the queue goes down, we'll just walk in. I was never gonna be at the front anyway. I always at gigs. I just like to be on the periphery and enjoy it. So yeah, and they were always just going to let everybody in and then close the door, and then this is it. The Stanbush gig. It's, as you can see, I'm stumbling to get my words out. It was absolutely amazing. It was so good. There we go. I can't concentrate with my cat. He was such a good performer, and his band was from the UK. They were like session players, and they knew everything. And he played so much other stuff. He played Warrior, and he played No Surrender from Kickboxer. And there's so many videos on YouTube already for the Stanbush gig. I suggest anybody that's interested, watch a few of those, because people film from different angles, and I've never been in a gig where everybody was singing and dancing. Sometimes you go to a gig and people say, oh, I don't really like this. Or I don't really know this band that well. But obviously we were there for a reason, and he played the Touch twice, and he came on and did a second encore and did Dare again. And everybody sang word for word. It was phenomenal. It was so good. And then when we left, when we went into the bar was electric. It was the vibe in the bar was so good. It was just people were still singing, and then people were just talking about how good it was. At one point, me and Tony, we couldn't even talk Transformers, so we were just talking Darmok from Next Generation, Shaka, When the Walls Fell, literally that's all we could say because we were just speechless for what we'd just seen. There was points in that gig where it was spine tingling. Hearing the Touch, hearing Dare, even if he'd just played those over and over again, it would have been a phenomenal gig. But because he played some other bits and pieces and stuff from his new album, it was one of the best gigs I've been to. I think it's because it was intimate as well. We was there for a reason, and it was in a decent sized room as well, and it just the atmosphere. You're there with people that are there for the same reason. So yeah, that's Stan Bush, and then I couldn't get to sleep for hours because I was such a major hype. So Sunday, I kind of realised I didn't need to queue for the dealer room, so I maybe got there about 10. I got there. I had a little walk around. I'd kind of already made my mind up about 2 figures that I wanted. So I went and kind of got those on that day. But as I said before, so Sunday was much more of a subdued affair, and it was all about relaxing and kind of chilling out with various people that I'd met, and I just wanted to hang out. Met Dave and Emily. Asked to put my bag in their car, and most of you know the sequence of events that happen next. So, and that's all being sorted out. There's no more. I don't want to drag up a harder part of the convention for somebody or for myself. So leave that there. And then I went to go and queue for Stan, and this queue was not going down at all. You could see he was quite exhausted as well, but he was still happy to meet people and get things signed, but we just couldn't get in that queue, and we were told to come back in 5 minutes, come back in an hour and a half, and we kind of just waited around, and then an extra queue started forming at the chairs, and they were just like, no, you can't queue here, you just have to wait, and then they were just like, oh, we're closing the line. Come back in an hour and a half. And I was just like, oh man, I'm not waiting an hour and a half. I waited 10 minutes, and then the guy let somebody through. And I was just like, man, you told me to wait an hour and a half. I've just seen you put somebody through. And then I kind of just said, I've been told various different things now. All I want to do is get my vinyl signed, and meet Stan and tell him how awesome he is. And I want to tell him all about 2012, when he did that acoustic version of the Greek, because that's a phenomenal acoustic version of the Touch for anybody that's interested. And then the guy was like, okay, join the queue, which was lucky because then they only let a couple more people in. So yeah, I got to meet Stan. I got him to sign my vinyl, my stub, and my booklet. But that booklet wasn't for me. That was a special treat for somebody else because they had to leave and they knew they weren't going to get something signed. Yeah, and I froze. I froze meeting him. I couldn't really get my words out, and he's such a nice guy that it was just like, it's cool. You can't get your words out. It's just, I can see my fans are here. It's just, there's no need to be starstruck, and it was just like, come, let's go a photo. Calm you down. So yeah, he was super cool, and I told him how much I loved his version in 2000, the acoustic version 2000 live at the Greek, and he was just like, wow, nobody's even mentioned that today, and I was just like, well, it's good. Yeah, in terms of Stan, one of the coolest things and how the fandom is so good is that he literally went up to, was it Evo changer, and was just like, is that seat free? And I don't think he knew who, he wasn't really paying attention. He was just like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, you can take that chair. And then he was just like, oh god, that was fun. Yeah, he took that chair for his wife, and they sat down in the bar, literally around the corner from everybody else, eating fish and chips and mushy peas with everybody. Nobody bothered him. Everybody could just gave him space. It was lovely to see the fandom do that, and lovely for us to see Stan just interact with the guests. All the guests though, they just walk around the bar anyway. It's just you could spot Daniel Riordan from afar. He's so tall. So yeah, that's Sunday, and then Sunday afternoon, as I said earlier, we're just sat in the secret spot, just chatting with Vigor Death and Wopshop, and Borders Dude, and we're just literally chatting about early 90s cartoons that I love and they don't like. I think there was a talk about Botsmaster and the Hurricanes, and it was just a really cool bit of socialising in a really quiet, secluded bit. And obviously I got my bits and pieces with me, and they were checking those out, and they were like, "You're not going to open that gem doll, are you?" And I was like, "No, it stayed in the package." So yeah, and then it got to 2ish, and I was just like, I gotta go now. Said my goodbyes, and I made the reluctant walk back through the NEC, back to the station. Bags checked at the NEC, and the guy was just like, "Wow, you got really cool stuff in here." And I was just like, "Yeah, careful with that." Yeah, and then just got on the coach 3:10, and the journey back wasn't as good because it was jam packed, hot and sweaty. I was exhausted. Yeah, and then I was home, and then I was ready to make videos. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I'm sure I've missed loads of bits out, but I've not mentioned people that I spoke to. But it was, all I can say, it was phenomenal. It was, on reflection, it's one of the highlights of the year. It's not really done anything close to that. It was a great experience. It was buying toys. It was meeting new people. It was meeting my subscribers, people I subscribe to, people I've watched for years and years. People that inspired me to do this, and made some lifelong friends. I've made some new best friends. I've changed the way I collect. It's become a more informative experience than I ever imagined. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to get my toys out of the boxes, get them displayed. It's going to urge me on to actually reorganise my collection, how I've been trying to do. It's still mid-dust, and the shelf still needs to go up and whatnot. So yeah, that's just the end of TF Nation. Still on a bit of a come down, but doing these videos has just reignited the excitement for it all again. So that's it. That's all from me and my cat, wherever he's run off to. Take care, as always, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.